What's bonkin', guys? The Pokemon anime has had a lot of wonderful characters throughout its tenure, but some of them don't get recognized by the fans as they should. Not all of these characters were perfect, but they still deserve some love, and that's what I'm here for. No Horizons characters, cause it's still going. Not really gonna go in any order, and there may be some unpopular answers on here, but please just hear me out on these. First up, Tierno, Trevor, and Shauna. That's right, our Colossian rivals are up. I know the games didn't do these three any form of justice, but the anime actually made them fun. They had a great set of episodes with the main cast at a camp. It's such a fun time and they each get their time to shine and express their personalities. Tierno was made to be such a fun-loving guy when he was on screen. He even had a helping hand in Ash's battle with Karina. It did lead to us having to see Ash dance, but we won't hold that against Tierno.
Never do that again.
Just trying it out.
But we even get some vulnerability when Ash asks him about his battle against Olympia. You can really tell Tierno feels kind of shaken by the loss. Still, he recovers well and has an awesome battle against Sawyer in the Kalos tournament. That rain dance was still one of the coolest things about it. And Shauna was a really fun rival slash mentor for Serena. While she wasn't the most impressive in terms of accomplishments, she was still a talented trainer and it was cool to see just how nice she was to Serena and show her the ropes to becoming Kalos Queen. You can tell at the end just how proud she is of Serena, even if she's heartbroken over her own loss. Her personality's fun, even if I think she could have been a little funnier, but her presence definitely helped with my interest in Pokemon showcases. I mean, not much, because showcases were kind of lame, but still.
I told you. I don't like that.
As for Trevor, he doesn't get the most to work with, and nowadays he's known for getting stomped by a lawn, but he was good for what he was. I admired his strategic takes, and while he wasn't as fun as Tierno and Shauna, as a straight man he did his job. These three weren't fantastic by any means, but I think they made XYZ a bit more enjoyable. In some cases, I feel like they weren't that well appreciated by the fans, while in some cases they may have some decent reputations. Well, the next character... Yeah, the next character's Trip. Now, I know some of you probably only saw 2 or 3 episodes of Black and White and decide your opinion on him.
Oh brother, this guy sucks.
But personally, I think there's so much more to Trip than his first impression. Initially, he's a jerk, but he has some kind moments, like when he points out that Oshawott needed to open its eyes during Aqua Jet. He clearly wanted strong opponents, but he still wasn't a monster, just more of a loner at times. He really saw Alder as someone to grow up and become, but when Alder was more jovial and laid back than what he had expected, Trip found more of a drive than ever to beat him. It's a relatable story of not always knowing what to expect from your heroes. Not only that, but his team was really cool. It didn't feel like Trip had exclusive powerhouses. He had a wide variety of Pokemon that were even able to win some unique matches. Servine joke aside, his team was a lot of fun. Trip wasn't perfect. I feel like he could have had a little more to do with the story, and I don't think his strengths were emphasized at times. But that doesn't mean Trip is bad. Fantastic? No. But I think his character had a lot of potential, and in some cases, he was pretty enjoyable. But you know, some people just see him as a bootleg Paul.
Don't even joke like that.
Now let's cool things down with a character from a fan favorite series. That's right, Ursula is up next. Yeah, I know, she's mean, self-absorbed, obnoxious, and oh so petty. And if you told her all of this, she'd probably respond like this.
Do I care? No.
And damn it, that just makes her awesome. She's just so straight up with it, and her VA hams it up so much that I can't help but laugh. Ursula was in the Walls Cup that Dawn won. Can we please get another one of those? Please?
Yeah. No.
She assumed Dawn's win was pure luck and did everything in her power to undermine Dawn and get in her head. Even if you realize she's kind of a monster for trying to traumatize Dawn with Plusle and Minun, she's so entertaining that I can never bring myself to truly hate her. Like, I low-key respect it, which says a lot more about me, personally. Maybe it also helps because she reminds me of one of my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh! Characters.
I mean, people change. Look at me. I used to be handsome and now I'm gorgeous.
Ursula even had some cool strategies of her own, like having her Eevee evolve into Flareon and Vaporeon in the middle of a contest. No one else thought to do that, and then she lost. Seriously, it gets to the point where I almost start to feel bad for this sociopath. Say what you want about her, but at least her strategy isn't just spin out of the way of the attacks. Dawn, I love you, Dawn, but that trick got old super quick. But anyways, Ursula's awesome. Let's move on before this channel gets burnt to the ground. And now things are getting, well, a bit confusing, because next up is Lana. I was kind of surprised to see that not a lot of people are huge on her. Frankly, I think she's flippin' hilarious. She seems like just a regular water-type Pokemon trainer, but she has so many ridiculous tall tales that are so insane that I can't help but laugh, especially when everyone learns that she's kidding.
Kidding!
But Lana's not always a jokester. She can be really kind to her friends as well, usually being by their sides in times of crises. I especially love the episode of her and Mallow when they were kids, and I kinda get a kick out of seeing Lana snap at people who are mean to Pokemon. I also think it's super cute how her sisters are able to wind her up, even assuming at times that Ash is her boyfriend. Yes, I think that's hilarious. No, this is not a shipping video. For Pokemon, I am way too stressed out to even consider taking on that endeavor. But anyways, she's funny, dependable, and kind of a badass at times. I know people love Mallow, and she's cool, but for me, Lana was the real star of the Sun and Moon anime. Well, except for Guzma. Now for some honorable mentions. Hodge and Kylie from Journeys. A delinquent who looks rough but is actually a chill guy? You guys know I love Windbreaker, so this shouldn't be a surprise in the slightest. And a Chunibyo girl who's obsessed with the most disrespected Pokemon type? You just have to admire her commitment at this point. The only downside is we never got an episode where the two became best friends. That would have saved Journeys. Okay, probably not, but I'm trying here.
You tried your best, and you failed miserably. The lesson is, never try.
Lastly, Francois the Magnemite. He had a great backstory with Ren, loved antique technology, and is named Francois. Huh, that's all I had, but honestly, that's more than enough. And now for the final entry, Morrison. This guy is just even better after my rewatches. You can really tell that Morrison is a competitive guy and such a goofball too. He has such a competitive but silly rivalry with Ash, competing over battles, food, hot spring temperatures. Hey, I never said the guy was a genius. But Morrison was also loving to his friends in Pokemon, probably explaining why he was scared to battle Ash in the Hoenn League. To me, it could be someone inferred that Ash was the closest friend he had at the time, or maybe even his first friend. Heck, the two were so similar, so it definitely makes sense. It's frustrating to see, but you can definitely understand, in a sense, where the guy's coming from. Not only that, but him screaming to get over his frustrations was way funnier than it should have been. Now I know, he could have been introduced earlier, and I agree on that point, but for the short bit we had him, Morrison grew to be one of my favorite rivals for Ash. Which is difficult, cause some of you know, there are very few of Ash's rivals that I'd actually say I'd love. Maybe that's another topic for another day. Plus, his team in hindsight was great. Matang, Mega Evolution, Swampert, Mega Evolution, Steelix, Mega Evolution, Girafarig, Gen 9 Evolution, Growlithe, Hisuian form, Gligar, Evolution. Dude pretty much predicted the future. All that in mind, he probably could have been Ash's secondary rival. Wonder who could have been Ash's main rival for the Advanced series. Huh. Oh well, Morrison still rocks. So who are some underrated characters to you guys? Should I do a sequel? Or maybe even an overrated characters list? I generally don't like being negative, but YouTube sure likes when I do, so just let me know. Good night, and peace easy.